All right, all right. I hope you all, congratulations again to all the finalists. I hope you guys go over to the main stage after this last session and be able to figure out who are the winners. And guys, we are closing it out with our last, that's what she said, female founders POV. Coming to the stage, first up, I have Anita Francois of Black Travel Summit. Dr. Egheosa for Evolution TMS. And Wilmisha Hall for Community Compensate. Compensate Community. All right, ladies. So, as our final, but last but not least, all right, we're going to get right into it. Tell us who you are, what you're building, and how can the ecosystem help you?
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Anita Francois. I'm an archaeologist and the founder and CEO of Black Travel Summit. Did you know that Black identifying consumers from the US, Canada, the UK, France, and Germany alone spend more than $160 billion per year on travel? Yet the education on and inclusion of this customer segment is still subpar. Launched in 2019, the Black Travel Summit's mission, simply put, is to support and empower voices within the Black travel community. We've cultivated an ecosystem by creating entertaining and groundbreaking year-round events and an annual summit around the Black travel movement. Around the Black travel movement, sorry.
And tell us, how can the ecosystem help you? What are you looking to best support this business? Where are some of your needs?
Okay. So our primary target audience are Black entrepreneurs, career professionals, and consumers. And with these events, we create a stage for them to come together, but we also act as a bridge to connect them with the overarching tourism industry or all members of the tourism supply chain. To date, we've been sponsored by Hyatt, American Airlines, Royal Caribbean, We Travel, and others, and have supported the growth of several Black-owned businesses within the tech, the spirits, and the beauty care industries.
Awesome. Give it a round of applause for Black Travel Summit. All right, Dr. Dr. Egheosa, tell us everything about Evolution TMS.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Egheosa Igbinoba, CEO of Evolution TMS, and that TMS stands for Training and Management Solutions. So it's an education management consulting firm that provides program development as well as program improvement services, mostly for the federal government. And so, but I want to tell you a little bit about my son, who's part of the reason that I'm here today. He's a 15-year-old freshman in high school. And a couple of months ago, he said, Mom, when I was saying, oh, we need to start planning to go to the colleges and start looking at what you want to do for college, he said, Mom, I don't want to go to college. And I said, oh my God, I almost had a heart attack. But I know, because one of my focus areas is career and technical education, that everyone doesn't need to go to college. And so what I challenged him to do is, okay, you want to go, he wants to work in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So I said, go ahead and start looking online at what you can find, what resources are there, and see if you really like this content. And so he helped me to discover that there's a gap in really quality and interactive gaming in the career and technical education space. So that's what we are doing, my son and I, adding this component to the training and management solutions that I offer with my business to offer very interactive education gaming, standards-based gaming that helps students to learn about careers in the STEAM and career and technical education space. And so what we're looking for is we need help to move from the pre-seed to the seed stage of product development, as well as looking to collaborate with software developers. And then I'm really looking for a mentor because this is a new space for me. I work in tech as a workforce development agent, but I need help with really going through the process of a product development. So looking forward to connecting with folks, and I'm really excited, and I'm glad that I'm able to do this with my son, even though he broke my heart because he doesn't want to go to my alma mater. But I'm happy that we're able to do this together, and we are both really excited to be able to be moving in this direction.
Awesome, awesome. All right, okay. Well, Misha, get into it. Tell us, what is everything about Compensate Community?
So let me tell you, you all are going to leave Emerge packed with a bunch of information. If it's one thing I want you to leave here remembering is that if you yourself become a victim of crime, or if you know someone that's been a victim of crime, that you are eligible for financial compensation from your state. So a lot of you are like, okay, well, that's something information. What's the problem? So oftentimes these victims who are eligible for this financial compensation, there is a long wait time. We're talking 4 to 8 weeks of applying for the application to actually being approved for the application. And another 30 days to receiving that money via check. So yes, you do receive the money. And currently we're talking about $1.9 billion that is in the fund. This is the oldest fund in history from Congress from 1984. Being that it takes so long, that's where we come in at, Compensate Community. I am Wamisha Hall, the co-founder of Compensate Community, and we expedite the money to victims of crime so that they can get paid and they can go from victimhood to survivorship. We provide the money where they're able to cover medical expenses, funeral arrangement, mental health counseling, you name it. Any expense that's associated with the crime that may have occurred. On our platform, which is a fintech platform in neobank, by us expediting these funds to these victims, we also increase the engagement between the victim and the victim service provider. These are the individuals who serve these victims. Oftentimes that could be your local state attorney office, that may be a victim advocate, that may be the police station. Our platform allows that engagement, so therefore there's more awareness of it, so that there can be an increase in the usage of this fund that's there. Like I said earlier, it's $1.9 billion that's currently in the fund that has not been used. And that's where we come in, that creating that awareness, expediting those funds to those victims in between that wait time so that they can get what they need, and also giving transparency to the victim service providers who serve them. What we're currently at now, and I'll ask, is that we are looking for funding from VCs. We currently have a bank that has bought in for our working capital. We're looking into VCs for operational capital. We also have a national women DV organization that will be starting off in the next 90 days. Our platform that we use for our infrastructure is Fiserv. We have an AWS and Fiserv partnership. On top of that, we also currently operate this with a Department of Justice commission grant that we kicked off in St. Louis, Missouri. So I say all that to say that we have traction, we have the support, we have the partners. Getting the VC funding is where we're at, and that will be great for my VCs that's here. If you know a VC, tell a VC. But most importantly, we all will be making sure that we take these victims from victimhood to survivorship, making sure that we get them closer to healing and closer to recovery.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh, so proud. All right, so now for each of you, tell me about what has been your journey as founders. Give some insight about your perspective navigating not only the founder journey, but maybe even navigating through Miami Tech. What's yours been experience?
I'm sorry, what was the last part of that question?
Navigating the Miami Tech journey.
Okay. So my experience so far as a founder, and as I mentioned before, I'm an archaeologist by nature. So business wasn't always the first thing that I saw myself coming into. But as my experience as a founder has been a very positive one. We've received a lot of support, again, from people in the community, like Hyatt, American Airlines, Royal Caribbean, We Travel, the GMCVB, Seychelles Tourism, Bahamas Tourism, et cetera, et cetera. And not only that, but we've been able to attract people within the Black travel community as well. We've been able to work with Black Professionals Network, thankfully. We've been able to work with Black Travel Club. We've been able to work with Black Travel Alliance, if you're familiar. We've been able to work with other organizations outside of the Black travel community because, as I mentioned earlier as well, although our place in this space is to highlight and celebrate voices within the Black travel community, we use our events to cultivate and foster relationships between people within the Black travel community and all members of the tourism and supply chain, and just anyone who wants to connect and collaborate with people within the Black travel community, entrepreneurs, career professionals, etc. Our experiences with tech, of course, I think it goes without saying that most businesses are tech-enabled to this day. A lot of our experiences and relationships are with travel tech people, traveling technology. And we use a lot of these conversations that we've had within our events on travel tech, on effective D&I, on B2B engagement, et cetera, as a way to kind of push ourselves into the future and create these groundbreaking events.
Yeah, so I started my journey in tech as an educator. So I was originally a music teacher, and then I was a business minor. So there came a time when I needed to look for another position because of some rearrangement going on in DC public schools. And so I found a position as a business administration teacher. And that led me to become a Microsoft certified educator. I was teaching Microsoft Office Specialist and also the new entrepreneurship certification through Certiport. When I finished my doctorate, I said I wanted something else. I needed to get out of the four walls of the classroom, but still remain in the education space. And so I became a consultant with the Department of Labor, but I also started my own business as a Certiport authorized testing center, also still providing Microsoft Office Specialist training as well as entrepreneurship training. I did some of that with some federal grant funds as well as a training provider. Then I had a baby. And I have a 3-year-old in addition to that 15-year-old. And so that caused me to have to relocate. I decided it would be best to relocate back to Miami where I had family support as a 40-year-old with a 3-year-old. So a newborn at that time. So I came to Miami, and I'm glad I don't look like what I've been through because it was rough moving here and COVID happening within a couple of months of me relocating. It was hard to restart my business, but I think things happen when they're supposed to. I joined the Black Professionals Network. I got in on an accelerator with Miami Bayside Foundation, and I got in another accelerator this past year with the Small Business Administration Emerging Leaders Program. And so I've just been, a lot of people see me around. So if you're in Miami, you're gonna see me around and you're gonna eventually say, who is that? Because I just see her at stuff. So that's what I've been doing, just immersing myself because again, I work in tech as a workforce development agent, but not really as a practitioner. So I understand tech, I understand the education that it takes to be a tech practitioner. And so I'm just always learning, and I'm a learner by nature. So I'm always learning. I'm an educator, and I'm always looking for opportunities to tap into other people's innovation and to try to be an innovator myself. So that's just been my journey has been all over the place as a tech person, but I think that things happen in the order that they're supposed to, and I'm just kind of in the space right now, just seeing what comes next and just following the path as it's sort of developing organically for my journey.
Awesome. What about you, Anisha? How's your journey been so far?
So my journey, I am a Miami native, and I've watched the Miami tech scene from day one up until now. But the most important part is the journey of how I got to Compensate Community. As a COO and co-founder of the company, my past performance during a pandemic, we were awarded a $15 million grant with the Florida Division of Emergency Management the same day I resigned from my job. So I went in as a female founder, not knowing much, right? I actually underbid myself with the government in the contract space, but I still made sure to serve over 3 municipalities and 5 COVID testing and vaccine sites. So being in that space, you get to really engage with the community direct. We've all, most of us been in those lines, right? And probably performed the test or got tested. So you really get to engage with the community direct. And I really understood firsthand what was needed when it came to the government and us as citizens. On top of that, my mom herself was a victim of crime through gun violence, and I witnessed her being rejected the victim compensation. So you can understand how come it's near and dear to me to make sure that people are aware of the services and the platform that we offer. And more importantly, whether you use our platform or not, I definitely want you to be informed in wherever state you're located in, if it's not Florida, that you are aware with how victims of the victim compensation work for victims of crime. And then look out for Compensate Community throughout your journeys.
Hey, awesome. All right, ladies, so we're wrapping it up soon. How can people stay connected with you all?
So if you want to stay connected with us, you can either email at anita@blacktravelsummit.com, follow us on social media, Black Travel Summit, or search my name, Anita Francois, on the Emerge app.
Yes, and I signed up and filled out the whole thing on the Emerge directory. So I think I'm the only Egheosa Igbinoba in there. So you'll be able to find me in that directory. And I look forward to connecting. I connect a lot on LinkedIn as well.
I am extremely active on LinkedIn, but first and foremost, let's utilize the time that we have here. Once I walk off stage, I'll be welcome to connect with individuals right now. That way you can't get the misspelling of my name, so we can connect further on social media.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you guys so much, ladies, for sharing your stories. Let's give a round of applause for all the women who shared their stories today. It has been such a pleasure as two hats that I wear in the ecosystem as the director of Venture Miami Opportunity Program and the founder and CEO of Black Professionals Network to be able to showcase some of the dynamic people who are building in Miami, definitely especially underrepresented founders. It is such a pleasure to be able to provide them this opportunity, this platform, and thank you so much to the Emerge Americas team for allowing us to be able to have this space. Thank you again, ladies, and please connect with them. All right, so we're up to our last panel, guys. So this is our last session for Launchpad. It is not goodbye. It is see you later. Please make sure to visit to the main stage so that we can be announced the winners for the pitch competitions. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe journey.